Hi guys, it is the 24th of December today, Christmas Eve, the day I'm filming this. But this video probably won't go up until Boxing Day because, you know, by the time I've edited it and uploaded it, it will probably be Boxing Day. But yeah, I'm filming this on Christmas Eve, and so I'm going to open my last door of the calendar, advent calendar. And I've really been enjoying this advent calendar. It's a by Terry one, and it had lots of makeup in, and that's what I needed, so I'm very happy with that. So the last item is one of the matte lip glosses, and it's in a really vivid sort of scarlet red, very Christmassy, so I will be wearing that tomorrow, so very happy to have that one. Let's see what shade it says. Red Shot. But I'll link all the products that I got in my advent calendar in the description box below in case you're interested. But I have been very impressed with all of the by Terry products that I've received so far. I thought I would kill two birds with one stone. I thought I would get my wrapping done for Christmas and film a video at the same time, so I'm doing a kind of wrap with me video. And while I'm wrapping up the presents, I thought I would just chat to you about my postpartum recovery. As you know, I'm in my mid-40s and I've had babies in my 20s, 30s and 40s, and I just thought I would chat with you about the differences and just how it's been for me this time. So these presents that I've got aren't your typical presents that you would normally buy for children. People tend to obviously get toys for children, but I don't, because my children just don't play with toys, generally speaking. I mean, sometimes they do, but very occasionally. But because we're such a big family and there's so many of the children, they just like to play games with each other, and there's not much room for toys. So the stuff I've got isn't your typical stuff that you would buy children for Christmas, so I'll show you what I've got. With this latest baby, my postpartum recovery has been a little different to previous recovery periods that I've had, because each labour is different. So it's difficult to say whether my recovery has been impacted by my age or whether it's just been because of the delivery that I had. It was quite a difficult recovery this time, but I do think that's mostly because of the delivery that I had. I mean, and that could have happened at any age. When I had my first baby, I was 20 years old. My postpartum recovery then was very difficult, but then that labour was very difficult as well. So it's just hard to say, isn't it? I do think it has taken slightly longer recovery-wise because of my age this time, slightly longer. Whereas when I was 20 and I was recovering from a difficult labour, it took me about 3 weeks till I was fully recovered. Whereas this time, I would say it took 6 weeks. So looking at double the time. But certain aspects of my recovery when I was 20 were more painful than this time, and vice versa. So it's just, it's not all dependent on your age. It's mostly to do with how the labour was, how the delivery was. So all my deliveries have been vaginal, haven't had any cesareans, so I don't know about, I can't really compare it to how that would be. I have no idea how it would feel to recover after a cesarean. All I know is vaginal deliveries. This is a present that I got for my son and daughter-in-law. Well, they're not quite married yet, but she's family to me, so I call her my daughter-in-law. But yeah, it's this watercolour. Yeah, they've just got a new house together, so I thought I would get them some art to hang on the wall. Now, I don't know if they're going to like it or not. It's always risky, isn't it, buying things like that for people, but if they don't like it, they are more than happy to give it to somebody else or take it to a charity shop or give it to me. I like it, I'll have it. But that's what I've got them. One of the things I got them. Oh, I really haven't got much wrapping paper. I might leave that one till the end because it's big, and see what I've got left. This, I forgot I'd got this. There's me trying to talk about my postpartum recovery and I keep getting distracted with things. But anyway, this is another thing I got from TK Maxx. It's a diary for myself, a family diary, and it's got a week to a double page, and it's got different columns for different members of the family. So we've got 6 sections here, which should just about be fine, even though there are more of us than that. I mean, the younger ones don't really need to have their own sections, but it's just useful to list out what people are doing each day so I know where everybody is. And it's got some stickers as well. Always nice to have a few stickers. It's a handy little pocket to keep things in. And the elastic bit to do it up. But I just thought that was really cute. I love to have diaries and calendars and all that sort of stuff just to try and keep me slightly organised. So one of my sons really wants a beanie. I shouldn't say it too loud because they're just next door, but he wanted one of these, so I got him one. So when I had my latest baby, I was induced, and as you probably know, induction, when you're induced, things never seem to go as well as they do when you just go into labour naturally. It's always a bit more painful and there's always more risk of having further interventions, and it was not the easiest of labours. I'll link my birth story in the description box below if you want to see that video. When I gave birth to William, when the placenta came out, it tore a bit of my uterus lining, so that caused me an awful lot of pain, and I know that it was from that because it was on the side. I just know it was definitely that caused the pain. So the after pains were really extreme, really severe. That wasn't good. I was just constantly on painkillers, alternating between Nurofen and paracetamol. So that went on for about 3 or 4 days. In that time I didn't have any bleeding, which I thought was really weird. I was kind of worried about that, but the midwife said that she thinks it was because I bled quite a lot in labour. Not too much, you know, nothing major, but I bled quite a lot. I think it was ½ a litre, and so she thinks that's why I didn't bleed postpartum. I just bled all at once during labour. So that was quite good, not to have to deal with further blood loss or anything, but the pain was quite horrific, and the after pains do get worse the more babies that you have. So again, I can't really say that it was due to my age. It might just be because I've had that many babies, you know. That was my 9th baby, so of course the after pains are going to feel quite bad. So yeah, that was all fine, and I felt like I was slowly recovering during those 3 to 4 days. The pain was lessening and everything, but then there was a problem. I started to get this really bad pain in the left side of my body. Now I already had pain in the left side because of that tearing of the uterus, but this was further up. It was like in my lung and in my back, and it got to the point where I couldn't move. It was excruciatingly painful. So yeah, and it was affecting my breathing. So I phoned up the midwife and they said, that doesn't sound good, you need to ring 111. And then I phoned them and they said, you need to come into A&E. So I went to A&E, and they said that I had probably got a blood clot on my lung. So I had to start taking a series of injections, blood thinners, and I had to take those for 10 days. And they were really painful injections. They felt like every time I had one of those injections, it was like being stung by a bee. Like, you'd have the injection and it would just feel like a normal injection, but then the pain would just spread and it would feel like, oh, horrible. But I was just in agony with the left side of my body, the back, the lung. It was horrific, and of course quite scary as well. I was in such a state. I was so worried. I was thinking, I was just mortified. I was thinking, here I am with my new baby. All I want to do is relax with my new baby, feed him and all those things, and I couldn't. I was in so much pain. So to feed him, I had to have like all loads of cushions piled up round me. I had to sit really upright in a chair. The baby had to be placed on the cushions, and then I could feed him from that way. And then someone would have to take the baby and hold him, because I just couldn't do it. I was in so much pain. So then that night, I couldn't even lay down. I couldn't lay down on my back, and it was difficult to lay on my front because of, you know, my boobs were sore because I was just beginning to, it's like the 3rd or 4th day, 5th day, I don't know, of breastfeeding. So you can imagine it was difficult to be on my front as well. I had to lay on my front and sort of, I don't know, arrange all the pillows around so that it was comfortable on my chest and everything. But yeah, I couldn't hold my baby, and that was what was really distressing for me. And not only that, but during that time, my daughter had to be going into hospital for a major operation. So my husband had to be with her, and it was just such a difficult time, so difficult. I can't even begin to explain it. It was the most stressful, horrific time of my life. Anyway, that night, after I'd been to A&E and I went to sleep, I woke up feeling like I was having a heart attack, and I was having convulsions, and honestly, it was the scariest time ever. Absolutely awful. And you know, luckily my husband was there with me and calmed me down, but I think I was just having a major panic attack because of feeling all the pain and having all the postpartum hormones, and yeah, I just had a massive full-on panic attack where I literally felt like I was going to die. It was a tough time. It was a really tough time. But gradually, over the course of the 10 days of having the injections, I managed to not be in so much pain, but it took a long time. So that kind of wasn't a normal postpartum recovery at all, because I had that to deal with. So it's hard to say, really. But other than that, since then, since I've got past that pain from the blood clot, my recovery has been fairly okay. I mean, this is a bit TMI, but my bowels took a long time to recover because I get very constipated with pregnancy and everything. So that took a long time. That took me about 6 weeks to get back to normal with that. And I haven't lost any weight, which is normal for me. What normally happens, and happened again this time, is that initially after I've had the baby, I obviously lose the weight of the baby, the placenta and the water. I lose that weight, which is usually about a stone, and then I don't lose anything else until after I finish breastfeeding. So, and that's what's happened again. I haven't lost any other weight. So I need to be back to my normal weight. I need to lose 1.5 stone. That's annoying, but I know that's just the way it is while I'm breastfeeding. However, in the new year, I am going to be exercising, something I haven't done yet. I need to start exercising. Pack of socks for one of my sons. Very exciting stuff, isn't it? Really exciting. Our budget has been very limited this year, so you can see that in what I've bought. In terms of, do I think it is harder to recover from having a baby when you're in your 40s compared to your 20s? I don't think it is that much different. In fact, in a lot of ways, I feel like it was harder in my 20s because I don't know, again, if it's just because of the amount of babies that I've had now that I'm more used to it. So, but in my 20s, when I had babies, I found sleep deprivation really difficult to deal with. Whereas now I'm just so used to it, it doesn't bother me. I can have no sleep one night and the next day I'll be totally fine, really. It just doesn't affect me like it used to. And yeah, I don't know if that's because I've had so many babies or whether it's just now that I'm older, I'm just more chilled out and accepting of things. I just think, oh well, I haven't had much sleep, never mind. I don't know. But also now that I'm older and I've got more experience of having babies, I think I do get more sleep anyway, just because I kind of have more of a clue of what I'm doing. When I first had my babies in my 20s, I would try to get the baby to sleep in a cot next to me or whatever. And my babies just do not want to sleep in a cot. I don't know if anyone else's babies do, but mine just don't. So I would spend all night feeding the baby, putting it in the cot, then it would cry, feeding it, putting it in the cot, then it would cry, and it would keep going on all night. So that's why I was so tired. But now, since having my babies in my 30s and 40s, I don't try to get the baby to sleep in a cot or anything. I just let the baby sleep on me. And I know all the midwives and health visitors and doctors and everything would say, oh, that's so dangerous, you mustn't sleep with your baby. But for me and my babies, it works. And I've been doing this for many, many years now, and there's never been a problem. We both get a lot more sleep. Now I have my Garmin watch, which tells me how much sleep I'm getting each night. And for the past month, my average amount of sleep that I'm getting per night is about 8 hours. And with a newborn baby, that is pretty good, pretty good. I love my sleep. Having my baby sleep with me is just the best thing. You know, in a way, I would love for my baby to sleep in the cot. I could, you know, sleep in a much more comfortable position and not be worried about where he was through the night and things like that, but we just wouldn't get any sleep that way. So for now, he's sleeping with me, and I'm very happy about that, and he's very happy about that. A couple of times I've tried to put him in his cot, and of course he hasn't liked it. And as soon as I pick him up, I can just feel him relax and just, you know, he feels happy with me. So that's the way we're going to do it. So these are some packs of terracotta clay that I've bought for the children. I've got a pack for each of them. For one of the girls, this. For one of my daughters. I told you, there's no toys, no toys. This one for one of my sons. They love this kind of thing, by the way. Another thing for one of my daughters. I got a big blanket for Scarlett. It's got pom-poms around the edge. I got this from HomeSense, so it was a good, very good price. And it's because she really, really wants one. Most of the other children have already got one, and what happens is when we have our movie night, everyone likes to get their pyjamas on and get their blanket and snuggle up while we watch a movie. And Scarlett didn't have her own one, so she really wanted one, so she's finally got one. And there was another one that didn't have one, so I got that one for Henry. I know, to you it probably looks like, oh, they're not very fun presents or whatever, but honestly, I know what my children like and want, and they will be ecstatic with those things. And then I've got a nice little notebook for one of the children. Got some nice pyjamas for some of my children. Anyway, I won't show you everything, but they're some of the things that I got for my children. Very strange presents, I know, but we're a strange family. Anyway, thank you for supporting me through Vlogmas. I have really enjoyed all your comments. I love talking to you in the comment section, so please do leave me comments. I really like talking to you lot. Yeah, I know I haven't filmed every day like I wanted to, and like I usually do when I film a Vlogmas, but I've done my best. I've had a difficult time this Vlogmas, as you will know if you've been following along. Problem with my tooth and blah blah blah. But I've enjoyed doing what I could, and I've enjoyed reading your comments and talking to you in the comments, and I'm really looking forward to this year being over, to be honest with you. It's been a very, 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 very tough year, and it's going to be great for the new year to start, and just have a fresh little start. I want to do all the cliche things. I want to lose weight, I want to get fit, I want to eat better. I want to just appreciate my life and my family more. The normal life, our normal family life. I just want to appreciate that. We've had so much drama and I don't want any more drama. I just want things to be chilled out, back to normal. I want to get back into homeschooling properly. This year has been just a fail with regard to homeschooling, really. But from January, I'm going to get right back into it and we are going to get back on track, and I will be sharing more about what we're going to be doing for homeschool. Hopefully I'll be able to encourage you if you're homeschooling, because you will see how I went from such a difficult time to getting back to normal, hopefully. So yeah, I hope it will encourage you. By the time you see this, you would have had your Christmas, so I hope you all had a really lovely Christmas and that you're enjoying your Boxing Day and that you have a fabulous new year. And if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, I would really appreciate it if you did. That would be lovely. I shall see you very soon with plenty more videos. Thank you so much for watching. See you next time. Bye.